You do look to be in great shape. How is the training camp going? Because we see the 30-second clips with Rafael Cordero and your whole team, but could you give us a little more insight into how things are going?
I'm doing great, but my body is shit right now. I'm sore, I'm really sore.
Sure, he's 100, but G looks good.
Yeah, man, he's looking really, really good. I'm definitely a little bit crazy, and I'm definitely a little bit scared, you know?
Mike Tyson is in complete meltdown just 2 months after his legendary showdown with Jake Paul. And it's sad to see that once the scariest man in the ring is now desperately trying to fit into a circus tent. After the fight, the footage is more shocking as he has put on weight, and it's not muscle. What he's doing, man.
Just that head movement and inside is just wild.
Everything. And the power. It was just, that's what you wanted to see from a heavyweight. So that guy is still alive, and he still remembers all these moments.
After a thrilling return to the ring that left fans questioning everything they knew about Tyson's legacy, the fallout is here, and it's ugly. The baddest man on the planet has traded in his championship belts for extra money and a serious case of regret. With his career crumbling faster than his stamina did in the fight, Tyson's comeback is rapidly turning into one giant bloated joke.
Mike Tyson, people would talk to. There's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Mike Tyson. Just the name alone sent chills down the spine of anyone in the ring. He wasn't just a fighter. He was a force. An unstoppable whirlwind that crashes opponents in a matter of seconds.
Tyson requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action.
But fast forward to November 15th, 2024, and that same name is now associated with something different: struggle. Tyson's much-hyped fight against Jake Paul wasn't just a showdown of fists. It was a clash of eras, a collision of egos, and a brutal reminder that even the mightiest legends eventually face their downfall.
Friend Mike Tyson tweeted that he almost died over the summer. He said, he had a bunch of blood transfusions, just had to fight to get healthy, and then his performance yesterday against Jake Paul. Just your thoughts on what we saw.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
This wasn't the Tyson we remembered. No, this was a 58-year-old man who had already been through a near-death experience earlier in the year. The once unstoppable force who would tear through opponents like they were paper now faced a YouTuber-turned-boxer nearly half his age. And let's be honest, this fight felt more like a sad spectacle than a competitive contest.
Welcome home, Iron Mike Tyson!
Tyson struggled to find his rhythm, while Jake Paul danced around him with the speed of a man half his age. This wasn't a man who dismantled opponents with vicious knockouts anymore. This was Mike Tyson, the icon but broken, worn out, and barely hanging on.
Last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida. And he's like, this fucking asshole says that, he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12. And he throws me in the fucking ocean with a bunch of sharks.
And the whole fight situation has left Iron Mike Tyson in complete meltdown. Because let's be honest here, could a 58-year-old man step into the ring? And not just the physical toll. It has so much to do with emotional well-being, too. Weeks after the fight, Tyson opened up about the emotional aftermath. The fight was such a big ascent. We were so up and high, he said.
But the day after the fight, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that?
And in another interview, his words hit hard. They reveal the struggles of a man who spent his life chasing greatness, now facing the harsh reality that the world has moved on.
Was by its nature a horrible fight, right from the start. It was just awful.
Mike Tyson's comeback against Jake Paul wasn't just a fight. It's been a roller coaster of emotions and controversy ever since. In a raw December 9th interview, Tyson admitted he's depressed a little bit after the fight. For a man who once ruled boxing, this wasn't just about losing. It was about questioning everything: his place, purpose, and legacy.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing.
The fallout hit harder than any punch. Tyson's return was meant to triumph, but the reality was harsh. Jake Paul, a YouTuber turned boxer, walked away the winner. leaving Tyson with his legacy at the stake at the age of 58. The void Tyson described wasn't just about defeat. It was the crushing realization that time, even for legends, is unforgiving. But let's not forget that this fight brought a lot of business. About 108 million viewers tuned in on Netflix, breaking records. The hype was unreal. Tyson, the warrior of old, against Jake Paul, the new age disruptor. From the opening bell, it was clear this wasn't going to be a fairy tale comeback. Tyson started strong, throwing punches that carried echoes of his past. But by the second round, the cracks showed. The firepower wasn't there. His stamina? Gone. And Jake Paul? He exploited every weakness.
And everybody was saying, oh, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul, that is.
Round after round, we all see that Paul stayed in control. His speed and youth were too much for Tyson. Tyson's punches, which were his deadly weapons, lacked their signature power. By the fourth round, the crowd wasn't witnessing a battle. It was watching a reminder that Father Time is undefeated.
Judge David Yacobucci sees the contest 80-72, while judges Lawrence Cole and Jesse Reyes see it 79-73, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Jake El Gallo!
The fight ended in a unanimous decision for Paul, 80-72, 79-73, 79-73. That was a clean sweep with no controversy. But it costs Tyson his legacy. Right after the fight, there were rumors of a leaked script, too. Well, too much drama and too little boxing.
And we wouldn't be here today without him. This man is an icon, and it's just an honor to be able to fight him. And he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet, so.
For Paul, it was a career highlight, but for Tyson, it was a bitter pill.
You know, 58, a lot of people thought you shouldn't be here. A lot of people thought you'd be done and dusted in the first round. Do you feel like you proved the world wrong, that you could at least go 8 rounds with a younger man?
I didn't prove nothing to anybody, only to myself.
The loss wasn't just on the scorecards. It was in every labored breath, every sluggish step, every punch that didn't land with the impact it once had. And it didn't stop there.
What do you have to say to the critics that brought that up?
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little.
Sir, did you watch it back or anything, or no?
I never watched the fight. No, I have not.
Okay.
Tyson later admitted to blanking out during parts of the fight. The last thing I remember is Jake bowing in the ring. Let that sink in. The man who once ruled boxing barely remembers the end of his own fight. Tracking his history, Iron Mike is not just a nickname. It's a legacy carved into the very fabric of boxing history. With his raw power and unmatched aggression, Mike Tyson became an unstoppable force in the ring, setting records that still stand today. He shattered records at just 20 years old by becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history, crushing Trevor Berbick in 1986. That was just the beginning.
And I watched the guy's face, and I watched that confidence bleed from his face.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
Tyson's reign was marked by his brutal, explosive knockouts, with 44 of his 50 career wins ending in a knockout. His first-round demolitions, 24 in total, became a terrifying trademark, and his ability to finish a fight before the bell even rang made him the nightmare of every heavyweight contender. And when he became the first ever to hold the WBC, WBA, and IBF titles simultaneously, Mike didn't just win, he dominated. But now, let's be real. The fallout from Mike Tyson's fight with Jake Paul split the boxing world right down the middle. On one side, you had diehard fans applauding Tyson just for showing up.
It wasn't about what he had left at 58. It was what maybe he might have, and the image, the scary guy, the guy that's going to eat your children, the guy who's the baddest man on the planet.
Then came the critics, sharpening their knives. For them, the fight wasn't some glorious comeback. Nope, it was a spectacle, a cash grab disguised as sport. They called it a stain on Tyson's legacy. Harsh but fair. It's not every day you see a man who once sent legends packing square off against a guy whose claim to fame started with pranks and viral videos.
Your thoughts on what we saw?
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
And speaking of Jake Paul, he's a whole debate in himself. Is he the new face of boxing, proving the sport can evolve? Or is he the ultimate symbol of everything wrong with modern boxing? Flashy, loud, and less about skill than spectacle. Love him or hate him, the guy knows how to stir a pot. After beating Tyson, his celebrity boxing stock skyrocketed, but let's not pretend this didn't also reignite debates about what boxing even is anymore.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah,
20 and
I think that's
40.
what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real fight and he was going to get hurt.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
And let's not ignore the ethics here. Should a 58-year-old, even one as legendary as Tyson, be stepping into the ring for a professional bout? Critics say it's dangerous, and after seeing Tyson's performance, they might have a point. This wasn't just a loss, but a reminder that even the fiercest warriors can't outrun time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe his brother.
You want to fight Logan? Logan, I think he said you might be next.
I'll kill you, Mike.
So here we are, staring down the barrel of Tyson's legacy. And it's messy. The man who once ruled the ring like it was his jungle gym is now calling out Logan Paul for a future fight. Yep, you heard me right. Logan Paul. After that disastrous show against Jake, Tyson's still out here trying to stay in the game.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
Some say it's the money. Who wouldn't want to cash in on that sweet celebrity boxing dough? But let's be real. Tyson isn't exactly starving. He's got millions in the bank. No, this isn't about finances. This is something else. Maybe Tyson just can't let go of his glory days. There's a certain charm in staying relevant when the world's moved on, and Tyson clearly hasn't figured out how to stop craving that spotlight. So he calls out Logan Paul, and suddenly, the fight talks back.
I believe that he was making the money he says he's making. Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business, and Showtime would have made sure they kept paying him.
But there's a catch. How much of Tyson's legacy is he willing to risk? The man's been through hell and back in his life. And now, instead of riding into the sunset, he's back at square one, trying to convince us, and himself, that he's still got it. The problem is, every time Tyson steps into the ring, he's adding a new chapter to a story that doesn't need more pages. His name's already legendary. Does he need another hit to his record to prove something? Now, let's zoom out for a second and look at the disaster, come back, in a broader context. Tyson's return is more than just about Tyson. It's about boxing. And oh boy, does it have a lot to say about the state of the sport. We've got to talk about celebrity boxing. And yes, it's a thing now, deal with it. And don't get me wrong, the money's great, but it's also destroying the spirit of the sport. Where are the next Mike Tysons? The next Muhammad Alis? We're out here watching a battle of Instagram stars, and it's a shameless show. Tyson's loss to Jake Paul wasn't just a personal moment of failure, it's a flashing neon sign that says, boxing is in trouble.